I think we're live now. Okay. Okay. Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another live stream. I always get very excited with these live streams and nervous as well. But again, like we talked, I think we mentioned this in our last video, we're going to be having another reaction video. I'm going to be reacting to another cruise video. We're going to be checking on monogamy versus polygamy. But first, before getting to the video, I know the latest news in town, what everybody's talking about, the presidential elections in America. No, let me say the inauguration of the presidential of the new president, because the elections already happened earlier. We have a new president that's been instated, the President Donald Trump. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very excited about that. I can see America becoming great again this next coming 4 years. So that's good news. And joining us today again for this live stream is our able producer, Chapnik, Sir Chapnik from Chapnik Pictures. Hello.
Hello, everybody. I just pop on top of the screen anyhow, anyhow. Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. I'm sure we are going to have a nice time today. It's a hot topic, so waiting to share and waiting to listen from all of you. Let's go.
Definitely, we're going to have a very interesting time because I believe this particular topic is going to have a lot of, like I said, when it concerns about monogamy versus polygamy, there's a lot of different opinions people have. And last video made a lot of people came back to me and like, no, they're for polygamy, not monogamy. So yeah, it's going to be very intense for this particular video, this particular live stream. So let's just get right into it, okay? Because we have a lot to talk about today.
Virtually every man is a potential King Solomon.
It's nature, nothing you can do about it. It's an idea God put into man.
Polygamy on its own is a social construct. It is nowhere in anybody's DNA to be polygamous.
I'm married. I cannot tell you that I've not gotten to a point where somebody else crossed my mind. I decided to remember the commitment I made to my wife. And that commitment supersedes the feeling you have.
Competition is healthy for business. If you come back home and your wife is giving you that headache, and you, instead of you to just carry your depression and go to your bed, or more, carry your phone, call your next girl, more good dear, happiness day dear.
It's ojukokoro, it's just selfishness. I believe that you cannot keep two women happy at the same level. It's not possible.
If a woman knows that she has a competition, that if you give me headache, somebody else is there to give me happiness, she go behave.
Okay, like always have a little trailer, a little insight about what we're about to watch. And it's already giving me a bit of chills here. I think we reacted to this particular video as a TikTok in our last video. And I'll just tell you some opinions I had concerning the video and my stance for monogamy. So Chapnik, what is your stance on this debate, please?
My stance on this debate, whether it's polygamy or it's monogamy, I think my stance has always been to let the man decide for himself.
Okay.
You understand? Let the man decide for himself. If the
Let the man
man
decide for himself.
thinks if the man thinks polygamy is the way to go, then so be it.
Okay.
If he thinks monogamy is the way to go, then so be it. I just hope, or what my stance would be, is that he should be coming at it from a position of authority and a position of power, and not a position of scarcity.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good stance. All right, let's get into the video.
Here are the prompts we'll be discussing on today's episode. Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. Monogamy is alien to African culture.
Let's go to history. Let's go to our background. Before civilization, before the coming of the white man,
Yeah.
any family you enter, if you enter 10 family, 8 were polygamous. Whether you like it or
it's polygamous.
not.
Especially the man can cater for them.
Yes. You know, you can cater because then it was all about land. You are given land
Patriarchy.
based
Says that.
on number of wives you have and children you have. This monogamy of issue came about with the coming of the white man and religion. They started teaching of Christianity, one man, one wife.
Check. Who are the ones that are always against more than one wife? Religion.
Religion.
our tradition was never against it. So if you marry traditionally more than one wife, there is no problem. But when it comes to the church, it's a problem.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
I think that the African culture encourages a man to have multiple wives. But I also still think that if you trace it back in time, you will still find some certain lineage or families who are desired to just stick to one wife.
I think that when people talk about culture, they just talk about it like it's this static thing that doesn't evolve. Culture is the way of life of a group of people. And if you look at our culture right now, our culture is not really, is no longer polygamist as it used to be.
Why?
If you have a daughter and your daughter's husband takes another wife, would you agree to
Those
that?
they are allowed because of the common of religion.
Those days,
Under
yes, but I
Christianity,
just-
as Christians, if they were not Christians, what if they were not
even
Christians?
families who are not
No,
Christians.
it's a lie.
Culture is not static. Because when everybody talks about culture, they think culture is what was done in the past. But I'm saying that culture evolves. Yeah, African culture has evolved over time. There was a time when we used to be known as twin killers. In the past, they say our culture was killing twins. But because our culture has evolved, it is no longer our culture. And that's what I mean by culture evolves. Sample majority of the families in Nigeria, you find out that monogamy takes the lead. So why would you say that is our culture?
I like the way you talk because you always
Okay, let's first pause it here. Like I said, I'm a monogamy. But then again, I have to accept the fact that I believe before the, like you said, coming of the, I mean, the Christian, before the coming of Christianity, there definitely was a higher percentage of polygamous marriages. And like she rightly said as well, culture evolves. So as Africans, as in the African culture, we have evolved. When they say that, when the prompt says monogamy is alien to African culture, I will not say it's alien. Alien is the fact that it is not like, it's out of the context. Like it's almost somewhat like forbidden, not seen, never heard of. That, 'cause that's when they use the word alien, like it's not heard of or it's not done. So even before then we had like cases where we have like monogamous families. It was not maybe as popular as today, but there were cases back then of monogamous families and also polygamous families. Granted, there were more polygamous families, but the point that she made, like, you see, the moment she asked the man, like, if your daughter was to go in for polygamy, like if she has to get married, then you know that the man has to marry more than one wife. Would you want that for her? And he's like, it was accepted that back then. That is not the question. The question is right now, if you are given a chance, your daughter is sent to marriage, and it's like, no, the man that she's to marry, he has to marry another wife, or he already has a wife. Would you want that for your daughter? And the people always try to dodge this question. They say they're for polygamy, but when it concerns like they themselves want the polygamy, but they might not want this system for their children, unless like they are it's like based on like a religious purpose. I believe like Muslims would really the Muslim religion really goes with that. I believe they say they can take highest 4 wives if I'm got that research right. So, like she said, culture does evolve. As the African culture have evolved, and now when we evolve, there are things that we might pick up that are wrong, things that we might pick up that are bad. But I believe this particular thing, like she said, we have abandoned the aspect of killing of twins. That's something that we have left behind. Maybe there are some things that we have taken up now that are not right. Like maybe we talked about the entire sense of dressing. Sometimes it goes really haywire. We were trying to mimic the Western culture. That like the indecency has really gone out of hand. So there are certain things that we have picked up that maybe are not right. But then again, I believe the aspect of monogamy and the bringing of Christianity was a wonderful thing for me. I really love the fact that I am a Christian and that faith was I was able to experience that faith. So monogamy I see as the best way forward, like the evolvement as we have evolved over time. I really appreciate this evolvement that we have done as Africans. So what's your opinion on that?
We need to be copying stuff, but not it's not everything that we copy that is nice. I think that's probably a mentality that has led a lot of Africans to some sort of very dark path. It's not everything that will copy from the white man, especially that is nice. So yes, I
Yeah,
think
I
monogamy
agree
is
with
even
that.
some monogamy is something which was brought forth by the white man, but my problem with that is that they are kind of forcing it down our throats as if we were them. So I don't think copying most of these things is right. Of course, let's look for the good things and copy, but sometimes I have the feeling that we just copy blindly. And copying the monogamic culture might be a little bit too blind in my opinion. So let's
Okay,
just check.
but a question like, okay, we know that in the African culture, right? We still have this case where it's not like you say they're forcing down a truth. I believe like a religion, if you're practicing a religion, that's when people feel like you need to follow this religion. But I think everybody still gets a chance to choose monogamy or polygamy when they're signing a document in Africa. I don't know if there are countries in Africa that have forbidden that. The choice of choosing monogamy and polygamy. So I don't think basically they're forcing it down your throat. It's like you can you can choose something else. Well, I don't think Africa is like you must do monogamy. Yeah. So that's my question. So in that case, I don't really feel like they're forcing it down our throat. I believe like because we're coming of religion, like it's not just Christianity. There's so many other religions have come, but because of the coming of like you're seeing practicing Christianity, Christianity is like based on this foundation of monogamy, as when Jesus said no, a man and a wife are joined together. So it's like if you're doing Christianity, why are you take polygamy? So I guess that's the question. Either way, let's continue the video. I think we have a comment. Someone said married one woman and have peace coming from a single aspiring man. Yes, yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. I like that vibe. And have peace. The peace. Emphasis on the peace. Guys, emphasis on the peace. All right, let's continue the video. I think the video has not posted yet. Okay.
It's a majority. Most of us,
Let me pause. Mhm. Who said that? Who said that? Let me think. Trust me, I can spend the money enough if it's bothering you. Is that is too much for you to spend now? Like, if that is the money is too much, you're thinking that no, too. Trust me, one woman can do the spending. There's enough things to buy. We can go open orphanage, we can go open different places. Places that the money should put more use. We'll do it. I think there's another comment say Michelle 80K said that's true. Monogamy is good, but polygamy is not our culture. Polygamy is not our culture.
Monogamy thing. I think monogamy was a ploy to get people working, to keep working for the rich. It's a ploy that rich people brought in order to be able to give the poor and to keep them working for the rich. Because
Interesting.
yeah, do you know why? Because I think women are like that. I think women they say women are hypergamous, right? So that means they're always going to go like for the wealthier person, the person with higher value. And in those days, I think when men were usually of this high value, all the women were flocking towards them. And because I imagine for all the other normal men who were the laborers, they were unable to have women to release all what they needed to release in order to continue their life. And all these women are going only to the richer men and to the kings and to their nobles and stuff. If there are no women, I'm sure they're going to revolt. And if they stop working, what happens? So I guess
That's an interesting take. That is an
maybe the nobles
interesting
came up
take.
and they were like, let's put
Give
a
the
law that
woman.
everybody needs to be only one man, one woman. And so it is going to force the women to have to look at the average men. Hence, giving them the power to continue to work more and make us more money. If not, well, revolting is not good for anybody, right?
Okay. Okay, so I just started this video and there's already a lot of opinions. I just hope we get through the end of this video. Let's just continue the video.
We have done researches, have you one-on-one research. In every theory, you can never have 100%.
Exactly.
Let's just say be sincere. 70% of African family are polygamy. Whether
Yes,
like
but
it or not.
it's not alien to us.
Who made these laws that make the so-called culture? So can they not change it again?
Was it changed?
They have the right to change because they made these cultures. They had their reasons. And now they're saying that these reasons are no longer beneficial to mankind. They can decide to change it. Am I correct? What are you saying? Culture is based on the experience, what they've experienced, and they've seen it that it doesn't favor everybody. So they have the right to change it.
This discussion in context now, was it changed by our forefathers or by the colonials? Did they look at our forefathers, look at it, we don't like this, let's change
remove
it.
it, let's remove it.
All the whites say, no, this is not good, don't do it, marry one wife. The white brought it and said this is not good, marry one wife.
No wife should ever force anybody to marry one wife. It is families that decide that they want to marry
I
one
want to call indoctrination.
I'm not saying that now. Families have sat down and said that, okay, polygamy doesn't really benefit us. Me as a mother, if my daughter's husband says he wants to take a second wife, I will not allow her to continue in that marriage.
There were people like her who thought like this before religion came.
The 30%. The 30%.
Exactly,
Yeah, the 30%.
yes.
Pause. More than 30% of you guys are actually not subscribed to the channel. Please hit the subscribe button
Yeah.
for some good
I really love
luck.
this
We're trying
channel.
to get to 100K now.
watching their
Back to
videos.
the video.
On that
30%.
basis, it wasn't.
It was not alien.
It was not that alien, but
Yes.
it was
Wasn't
not
majority.
like it was not generally favored.
Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. Monogamists will become polygamists if it was not frowned at by the society.
They say human wants are insatiable. The more you have, the more you want. Virtually every man is a potential King Solomon. The fear of having more women, I'll go to hellfire, is a sin, society will find it. So that if the fear is greater than your desire, you will respect the fear and respect yourself. That is why you see some men, they marry one wife, but behind closed doors, they are living a double life. They cheat because they know that the society frowns at them making it public. So they decide to do it secret.
Sociologists will tell you that if you want to get man at his pure state, remove religion. The religions will come and tell you, God this, God that, God that. What of that, those that didn't believe in God? I don't know, living
Like
a pure
our
life.
forefathers.
My brother, if not for what people will say law, people will be polygamous by nature.
The kings then, even now, kings are polygamous.
Yes, polygamous.
Because
It's
they feel
allowed.
they are just like they are the apex. At the
Apex,
top.
yeah.
They are not afraid of what other people will say.
Nobody
or
says
what other
anything.
people will do.
You don't even
Because
say
nobody will
anything.
even say.
You won't even say anything.
And that is when you will know their true nature.
That's the true nature. So make an average man a king and see what will
Yes,
happen.
make an average man
And
a
a king, he will do the same thing.
The other
Hellfire.
person was saying, okay, he felt something for the other person, but because of the commitment he made to his wife. What if the law permits,
He will try it.
okay, or maybe the belief that you were born into, what if it permits you to do
And get away with
otherwise? What if you could convince your wife and she supports it?
You go ahead and do it.
Won't you do it?
Abba.
You will do it. Because why? The barrier has been removed and your true nature
Has been displayed.
has been displayed.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
If you take out religion and society, and
I don't know. I think we should talk about this before they continue. Let's say disagreeers. No, I'm asking you, monogamous will become polygamous if it was frowned upon as by society. What's your take? Absolutely.
We have these guys who would say they like fat women or something like that, and then those very people, if you handed them the keys to a Lamborghini and you gave them a big mansion, you're never going to see fat women around them. So
I think we have a comment from Michelle. Michelle says, no, families were brainwashed to believing monogamy is the best option. They didn't sit and decide that monogamy is the best option. So it's like what you're saying, indoctrination. So my take, my take on the problem, say monogamous will become polygamous if it was not frowned on by society. There, yes and no. Why? Because we're not just taking everybody's case here. There are monogamists who actually are afraid that people that want to maybe marry two women, that they might have had that idea and they want to marry two men, but they will not because of their religious orientation, all of that. That's true. Then there are also these people who will not become polygamous if the society did not frown upon it because they don't want to. I think sometimes forget that there are some people that don't want to be polygamist. Not that they don't want to sleep with many women, but they don't want to be polygamist. It's a different story. Like they want to, they want to be married to one woman. If they want, like that's attention, full, complete attention woman all day, all long, has that woman's attention, but they still might want to go out, sleep around other people. So in that case, they don't necessarily want to be polygamists, but they just want to be cheating on their wives while in a monogamy. Because when you're married, you already have responsibility to somebody. If you get divorced today, you know what happens. That all the alimony and everything, you have the property sharing like with some laws. So if this man is to get married to many women, he's going to calculate so much. Like because marriage is not just saying that I want many women. It's about I want to also give some sort of responsibility to many women. Many men don't want to be responsible to many women. They might want to have many women, but they don't just want to be responsible for many women. That's my belief. So there are men that naturally would go for polygamy, and they have other things like maybe the society frown on them, the religion frown upon them. That is a reason. Then there are also men that will not still go, even if society took out that barrier, because they don't really want it. They want the women. They don't really want to be responsible for those women. Then I will agree. This is a very hot take as a Christian. I will agree that the aspect of say when they say people focus on God, 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 that's why they choose monogamy. I'm not going to deny, yeah. The reason why I'm so bent on the aspect of monogamy is because that is what God has said. And I don't take it as something that is like that may be degrading to me because my entire nature changed when I received him. So everything I live, they say you live for him. So I'm not actually sad about it. I'm not sad about indoctrination. I love the fact that I'm indoctrinated, if that's what I want to call it. So yeah, it's not like a shameful thing. I'm not going to deny that. No, because of his coming, my entire mind has been changed. He has been changed, like has turned around. It's just what I enjoy actually, and I love it. What do you think, sir? Any comment on that? Yeah. So a comment here, LOL, say they like fat women. I really like that example you gave. It was such a good example. Yeah. So some men say they actually do.
They
So
might,
I might talk about this in later episodes.
yeah,
Like I
maybe
believe some people might actually do. Yeah. Like I don't think it's a problem.
this
It's
might be
possible.
coming out. This might be coming out a little bit crass, but I can assure you that most men, if given the chance to be with the hottest models on this earth, are going to be taking the hottest models and not the fat women. I think
Interesting.
fat women.
Let's take from a man, guys. I'm not a man. I cannot speak for men.
Yeah, I can say with certainty, but not to say that there are exceptions, right? Very rare though, but there are exceptions, of course. But I can say
Okay.
with certainty that more often than not, they are lying to you girls. So you should check sense and keep fit. We love fit women. We love
Keep fit
Nyash,
girls.
yes, but fit is so much better.
All right. Let's disagree as please.
And you look back to the past, you see how people who are married to just one person, when you look at the stakes and you look at the consequences of your actions, it will inform your decision. When you look at it, that you have a wife, you've built something really, really beautiful, you are enjoying the companionship you have beautiful kids, and then you now want to start investing your emotions elsewhere. When you look at all those things, forget about religion, forget about society now. You just want to keep building that stuff you're building. You've gotten to the roof level of your house. you see how beautiful it is. You just need to go and paint the outside, and then you now want to start laying foundation elsewhere. When you think about all those things, I still think that some people will still want to stick to their wife and not be polygamous. That's what I think.
I agree with him entirely, because even when it was acceptable, in fact, encouraged to have more than one wife, and when it was even beneficial, there were countless people who had just one partner and their children because they thought about it and it was a better decision for them. And even till today, why are we saying that polygamy is discouraged? Because in a major religion in Nigeria, it's encouraged. It's accepted. So if you marry two wives there or more than one wife, nobody is going to do anything to you. Even in that religion, a lot of them do not take two wives or multiple wives because it doesn't make sense for them.
It's because of one economic situation of the country. Most of them were friends. It's not because of doesn't even then. Yeah, it doesn't. Not because
it doesn't have to be economic.
No. It's like give them riches,
bro. There are villagers in remote areas who have just one wife. It's not. And there are rich people. And there are rich people who have just one wife. It's not about the economic situation.
An average Christian person grew up in a Christian family and had a one father, one mother's kind of system would want to follow that way. Someone that also grew up from a Muslim family, seeing his father with more than one wife, would also want to grow up with that mentality and see it as right. Can I say we remove religion, we remove societal influence, and remove ancestral and all that stuff? Let's keep the average man there. Let's say on my own now, I'm not influenced by anything. This is just me now. Are you telling me that I will not that instinct of, you understand?
Because you are polygamous in
nature,
your thinking. You cannot assume that everybody is like that. And also, because you have decided to act on what you feel, doesn't mean that every other person will do the same.
Men are polygamous by nature.
Okay, let's stop this prompt a bit before we continue. I think there's things I want to comment on. Okay, first, when it came to the economy, they said that give some poor riches and they'll go to polygamy. When you check certain families, I think I've seen a few of these documentaries where you see one man and she has like one woman and they have so many children. So you see, it's not, a lot of times, I don't know, most rich people that I have seen have one wife. I don't know. When you check the richest people in the world, it's one wife. So you might say that riches that everybody that will get rich, when you give a man so much riches, is going to cause that effect. But when we check, per se, societal-wise or present-day-wise, most rich men actually have one wife. And then the case of, I think they mentioned something about the case of, let me say, when you are married, and, for example, the economy is affecting, like, okay, sorry, for example, if the economy is bad and you are thinking, no, I want to marry two women, I don't think that's going to work. Then somebody mentioned that if you are going to take out all the influence, like they're taking out societal influence, taking out the influence of the religious and all of those things. I believe everything, societal, religious-wise, economical, all those things make us who we are. You cannot erase all those things from us as human beings and then you say, this is you as, like, now this is the real you. Everything that we are as human beings, as Africans, maybe as Europeans, wherever you're from, you are being made by those influences from society, from your religion, society, all those things make you who you are. So you cannot take out all these things and you say, I want to single myself out of all these things now and make a decision. And even if I had to single it out, like I said, the Garden of Eden was, when those things never existed yet, it's one man and one woman. I'm just going to put that point out there. Say, any comments? One man and one woman.
A rich man is going to have, of course, the one woman who is the mother of the house, who is the patron of the house. The funny thing about that is that there are a lot of
There are
people who
many
are in
concubines.
polygamous relationships. Yes, there are many, there are many women who
I
are
think
in
we're
polygamous
confusing
relationships, but
polygamy
they
with
don't know.
promiscuity here. Polygamy is like marriage. They're not married, they're not married.
Nah,
like, end of the day,
polygamy is one man and many women.
one man married to, please, is married to. Let's not let's not confuse this. Or what we promiscuity? There no be promiscuity if one man could just be sleeping many women and he can consider it polygamy. That's so how you call that?
It's just being polygamous or hypergamous or polygamous really. That is just polygamy to me. Whether it is marriage or whether it is so, I'm sure if you said if somebody was in a long term relationship with another one, you would consider them married.
No,
So why? So if somebody was with the same woman for 25 years, would you not
they are not
consider them
married.
married? So what makes marriage then?
Is that is the $1 million question, right? That's the thing. Like, okay, it depends to them. If to their place, there's actually a ceremony that is always in every religion, every setup, in every culture, even there is a ceremony that proceeds to marriage. Once I perform that ceremony, it's recognized. Like marriage has to be recognized by the
Well,
family, by the state, other countries. So if the
well,
ceremony is absent, it's not marriage. The
I
entire
think you are
point
the
is
church. I think you are the church person. I think in the Bible, the marriage is when you get with a man or when the man you sleep with is becomes your
yeah,
husband, right?
yeah. Consummating the marriage. That's called consummating. Even law, they say you have consummated the marriage. Have you consummated it?
Yes, that means the man you sleep with becomes your husband, or
Yeah, he's your husband. Then you have to consummate it
woman
to
the woman you
seal the
sleep
deal.
with is your wife, right? So that means it's just that in these our days now we are giving it so many names. We are calling it being promiscuous or whatever, but that
It is
man
what it
whom
is.
you slept with is your husband.
No,
So
it's like
if we
if
had
they
to
don't
go
put
by
it
the
that
Bible,
way.
if we had to go by the Bible, that man whom you slept with is your husband. So that means if you are not with the man with you slept with now, you have left
Nah,
your husband.
that's not what the Bible says. Oh. That's
So
why
if you are if
there's
you are
something
sleeping
called
with
fornication in the Bible. Because if you're not married, it's called fornication. It's not your
is
husband set up.
fornication really in the Bible? I hear of adultery in the Bible. I don't see fornication though.
It's there.
And I'm not a
I'm
big
hap-
Bible
I'm
guy,
hap-
so
I'm about to look up a verse, but it's there.
right. Well, I'm not a big Bible person, but I'm sure I didn't see. And I was in a boarding school, in a Catholic boarding school, and
Okay.
for all the talk of it, and even when you are talking about the Ten Commandments, right? They talk about thou shalt not commit adultery. In the Ten Commandments, I don't see something that refers to fornication. And it is always very difficult for people to talk about fornication. They just know that it is bad and everything. You are supposed to be with one woman and not commit for adultery and all that. But you have never really heard about fornication, which I think is actually kind of this interpretation for something which has been done by the church in order to make it seem the way that it is in our modern day. So yeah, just
All right.
all that to say, you sleep with multiple women, all those
I know.
multiple women are your wives, and hence you are polygamous. And
Yeah,
just
fornicating, you're not married. That's my own
and
stand.
also to say there are so many women who are in polygamous relationships but they don't know. And also, and most of that the woman might be the one man thinking that she's the only person, she's the only woman for that guy, but there are many of them, and then he has the wife in the house. So rich men are with one woman, of course, because well, if you want to die early, bring many women to the same house. That's
See,
disaster.
you can even agree with that. The more it's not the merrier when it concerns marriage. Abi? Let's continue. I get it.
Guys are surprised I'm here, Abby.
I'm surprised.
So I'm here because, yes, inherently
Like that.
have that tendency.
That instinct.
I'm married. I cannot tell you that I've not gotten to a point where somebody else crossed my mind. I decided to remember the commitment I made to my wife. That is the whole point of me being here and the whole conversation we're having. Love is a commitment. You've chosen to be with this person, and that is what you're going to do.
So you personally believe that love is not a feeling, it's a commitment.
And that commitment supersedes the feeling you have. For instance, your wife is pregnant, she's cranky, she doesn't want you to touch her.
And that you should like the video on YouTube. If you're watching, you should
Yeah.
like the video so that they can send the video out to a lot more people. And
Like and drop
also,
your comments.
yes, like and drop your comments. And also, you can join us on the live show by giving us a call with the link, which is just in the comment section, which is the first comment. So hit on that link and you can actually participate on the show, and you can give us your opinions live. It's a lot better than just writing a comment. So we are waiting for you guys.
Yeah. Let's join in on this discussion because at this part I feel like I need backup. I need a backup here. Let's continue the video.
At all, in that moment, you will still decide to love her. You won't decide to go and play away match. That at that point is not about what you feel now. You might have all the arousal or everything erection in the world, but you've chosen to love that woman. You love her and be patient with her till she's ready. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that there is no feeling in love. There is feeling in love, but commitment supersedes it.
Let me use myself for example. I know men do kiss and tell. If people get to know that I slept with 3-4 girls, what would the society do? They will hail me, guy, na man you be, this egoistic kind of feeling. The society will clamor for me and give me that support that, yes, guy, you're a man, one more you try, that kind of a thing. But let a woman mistakenly open her leg for just one guy that is not in any way related to her, either in marriage or anything. I'm on Ashi, that guy is loose, that guy is this, you understand?
So it's society that contributes to...
Yeah, that's why I mentioned society. First and foremost, I mentioned the society because society always play a key role in things that affect our way of life.
I believe men are polygamous by nature, simply because it's nature, nothing can do about it. It's an idea God put into man.
I disagree.
Why do I say that? One of my favorite stations I like watching Go TV is Nature Wild. Animals live by instincts. Now, if these animals can maintain that polygamy by nature, so I can controlling so many hens
and sleeps with them randomly.
We have grown to know the wrong and the right based on New Testament. Christ says, one man, one wife.
The original design was Adam and Eve, right? And God created Eve out of Adam and said, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. When man fell, everything you are saying is as a result of the fall. You have great men, Abraham, our patriarch, David, Solomon, all of them. But what Jesus came to do was to restore us back to the original design of God, which is what Adam and Eve, one man, one wife.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
So, do you want to stop commenting before I start talking? You talk this time first. What is your stance on this? Men are polygamous by nature.
Of course, men are polygamous by nature. Men are polygamous by nature, of course. And it's kind of very natural because, for example, if I asked you how many children can you make in a year, how many children can a woman make in a year?
In a year,
Yes,
she carries a child for 9 months. It depends if they're twins, they're
one.
triplets. It depends.
So one, right? So
Majority
one.
of times 1 yes.
Voila. So that just means that she's very invested in the person that she decides to have a child from, right? But how many children can a man make in a year?
How many children can I make in a year?
Yes.
That endless. Like, yeah, a lot.
Case closed.
That is not a case. Like, I actually are men polygamous by nature, and you have just put it to their procreative rate.
That is nature, right? So if a man is able, and we are on this earth to procreate, so if a man is able to procreate every single day in fact, he can procreate every
They don't say
single
that a
hour.
man is here to procreate every single day of his life. Oh. So
You
men should
get
just be every day. They should be dashing babies left and right. That's their everyday function.
they're out here to spread the seed, right? So they need to
Okay.
spread that seed. That is
Okay.
the
Farmers.
nature of man, and the nature of woman is to get that seed, nurture that seed for 9 months in order to bring forth. Right now, people have made us started speaking like a pastor. But it is to nurture and bring forth that seed. So the nature of a woman is to be monogamous because that in order for her to get that she needs to make sure that the person she's getting that seed from is the best, is the cream of the cream, la creme de la creme, so that her progeny is going to be able to survive. But as for the
That is
man,
why you believe men are polygamous by nature.
but for a man, he's out there to spread his seed, and he can spread it as much as possible. And so a man is polygamous by nature.
Okay, that's your stance. My stance on this issue, I would say yes. Not polygamous as the men who marry men. I think we keep for confusing polygamy and like the drive for men to want one more than one woman. So polygamy, I say, is marriage. Not necessarily that men want to marry more than one wife. That's not the nature, I'll say. So for me, it's more like yes, you can find most men nowadays would want to go ahead and have many. They say they want to have options. That's the word I mean. They like having options. So, but regardless, the one thing I very much agree when they made this prompt was when they say that there's something that God inputted in us. I'm not going to add so many words to this. Whatever the guy in white, that's full white, what he said about Jesus coming to restore, that's my stance. And God created it. If you feel like, oh, if God felt like, okay, for us to have this procreation to be so much faster, let me make like 5 women for this one man. That'll be wisdom. God is wise. Like we should understand that God is wise enough to think like 5 women better than one woman. If I want to make the earth populated so fast, I'll find him 5 women. I just went like, no, we need a helper. We need one. And he says people should grow and populate the earth. And he knew that, one is enough. I think that means that one is enough. You had a family that I think in those days, it's very rare now, but when women used to give birth to 12 children. And the entire family is what? The father, the mother, you see 12 children. So it can still work for me. The procreation can still work. So it's not, I don't think it's God's plan per se. Men have the tendency to, yeah. I think even sometimes women too have that tendency, like it says, frowned upon by society when a woman already say that, okay, she might want to have more than, and it should be on both sides. Like, I think we talked about this when the Phillips and the Balthazar. And I was talking about how people are like praising Balthazar, like the man said that people are going to hail him, and the Phillips was this entire, she's bad, she's bad, she's bad. The example he took about the I think it was like a chicken. When you see them, it's just that you see them out there. You can have the male, the head, like the cock has many hens around. That's one side of nature. Do you know about the other side of nature? You find creatures that are very devoted. They are very devoted to their, because you find those that they're this when you watch National Geography, you find these creatures that they stick to one partner throughout their life. If the partner dies, they are not getting a new one. So you see that it's monogamy even animals understand it to a deeper level than we do. Like they can actually be more be
I
more
think
into it than us.
I think that is for mostly for the females, right? Is
No, no. They too. They too.
which male animal sticks to one woman?
When you look at insects, for example, I believe if I'm getting this right, the queen always has she finds one person that is going to be the person that's fertilizing that she has to carry, then she has to produce many offsprings, and the person, I think he dies in the process. I think the male someone dies in the process, and she can have many others, but it's like she is the only person. So that man through his lifetime he has just one person. So I think there are very different examples all throughout nature. They want to always focus on this fact that when you go to a wild, they always say you see the man and many women, you see the male and many female, but they are different. They are different. Like just as we have different with humans, different scenarios with humans, there are also different scenarios with the wild and wild and maybe insects and all of that. And we keep neglecting that side and focusing on the side that we want to promote the most, I believe.
I guess you have to go and pick like the most niche example where the woman is queen to a multitude of men. That's not normal.
As bees, insects, it happens to insects.
Yes,
When
for insects, right? I'm saying that is not a human situation. That is not a normal situation where you would
there are women
see.
that have married many men.
And is that normal?
I'm not saying it's normal. I'm saying it exists. We sometimes focus on the part that okay, we have this male and many female, and there are other options where you have female and many male, and there are other places where you have a male and a female that are decided to stick their entire lives together. So why are we trying to make like this other scenarios don't exist when we're trying to talk about this monogamy versus polygamy? Like that's my question. I just believe that there are different scenarios and there will always be different scenarios.
All right. I think we have Max. Max, we have Max who is in the background. I want to come up to the show. Are you ready to come on, my bro? Hello, Max.
I
Hello.
think
All
it's
right.
connection problem. Let's just continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's continue.
Forward.
In life, in order for you to be happy, you need balance. In order for you to be balanced, you need order. And where there's no order, there's no peace. You can't have two captains on a ship. God did not create men to be polygamous in nature. If he had done so, why would he say adultery or fornication is a sin?
It is not that you don't feel it. It is already in your nature to feel it, to be with another woman.
There's nowhere in anybody's DNA to be polygamous. Polygamy on its own is a social construct. If someone gets you angry and then you feel like, oh, I've even killed this person right now, would you say that you are murderous in nature? No, I do not agree with that.
We have that tendency. We all have that tendency. And I mentioned also that I myself have been in tough situations, but I've decided, to stay true to the commitment I made to my wife with the help of God. And I think that is for both sexes. It doesn't have to be narrowed to men alone. It's also for women as well.
Variety is the spice of life.
Okay.
I believe variety is the spice
That
of life.
variety.
Let's start from
Let's pause. Variety is spice of life. Like I always say, I hate black and questions are not black and white, and they ask you to answer it in a black and white situation. Like yes or no. This not yes or no. This not yes or no situation. If we're talking food context, yes, the variety is very important. If we're talking maybe cars, you have to buy cars, houses, it's important. But you're going now to human beings, you're going to marriage. No, no. It might be good to have, I feel like, okay, it is nice to have this many options out there, but not to have many options to yourself. Like the fact that when we go out we can have we have the chance to choose because there are so many like men out there, women out there, you have to go and like choose a life partner. That is something special because like a treasure hunt, you get to find this very precious thing. But I don't think now you when you found something you're like, oh, I found this one, let's go look for another one. Like that now is something to spice up your life. You are just bringing confusion because I believe no, when you're going out and finding this special thing, get it, sit down, shut up, enjoy it. And you, what do you feel about it?
To spice it up. But when you're talking about men and women and in relationships and stuff, uh, well, I think men and women are not the same, and what is going to work for men is not going to work for women. basically. I think we go into relationships with different objectives, and the objective of a man is not the same objective of a woman. I think the objective of a man is probably to get access, and the objective of a woman is to be able to make her life easier and have the best option, while men are looking for as many options as possible. So I don't think it is the same. But
So
then,
if they
but
took away like the sex aspect from human beings, like if they took away like sex as a whole, just took it out of the equation, how do you think the entire marriage scenario might look like for both men and women?
actually, I even think even for women, if you really think about it, even for women, they are actually looking for variety. Because I'm sure if I asked women out there what you're looking for in the man that you want to be like your one and all, you want to get married to and make a life with, I'm sure you are going to have like a laundry list of things you would want in that man. You probably want a strong man, somebody who makes within of stronger than you, better in all aspects, charming man, tall with nice abs and stuff like that.
And men
But
will
then
have the same long list, won't they?
really, I'm sure men
They
are
have a long
not
list.
men are not complicated like that, mama. So, and which, if you ask me, I would say that is variety, and they want all that variety in one person.
I don't think it's variety if they want it one person. Variety is like I want it this, I want Paul to have this, B to have this, like that. But if I'm saying that I want all of these qualities and I want it in this man, that I don't really want many men. I just want these different qualities in this man, which is delusional sometimes because you cannot get everything you want in one person. That's when you have to reach a point of accepting, to let go of certain desires I have to have a fulfilling marriage. So
Voila. That's where I'm saying that if you really think about it, that is variety. But they want that variety in one person, which if you are actually human, it's very difficult to attain. That's what makes the demands of women so unattainable, because you cannot have all that variety in one person. But it is easy for men because they,
well, I'm really going to go back and forth on this, but anyway, I'm just going to. I think I'm going to stop here. Like I said, for men to men have their own many things that they want from women. Like they want a touch of Christian and a touch of Cardi B. Let's not get into that now. Let's get into the video.
From ourselves. Because charity begins at home, right? Can you wear one clothes for 1 week? Is it possible?
It's possible, but it's not pleasing.
Can you just eat one food without having issues?
No,
Is
there'll
it
be
possible?
issues. There'll be issues. Your body won't react to it.
Thank you. This one is not something you argue about. There must be variety in life. If you look at these guys, the rich guys have cars.
Just for the sake, can you do one foot and your boss not react to it? The Israelites ate manna for a very long time. Let's just continue.
Today they drive this car, tomorrow they change this car. Tomorrow, you know the flex. What are you talking about?
Like cars. We have different kinds of cars. Let's say particular Benz. Every year, they keep bringing out different models, and I would keep bringing out, even phones, keep bringing out new models, iPhone 15, iPhone 12, iPhone, all that. If those things apply to other aspect of life, what about us? What about our own choices?
In fact, the creator created things in different ways.
Varieties.
Yes, varieties.
Even if God tired of eating one particular food, should not ask Adam to eat that apple. My name is Kingsley Wankwo, and I support.
Okay, when you are giving biblically wrong facts, I cannot just cross over. There was so much to eat. What pushed it was curiosity and stubbornness. Let's agree on that. It's not like she was eating one fruit, one fruit. There was so much, and then me eating all the fruits that were already existing. She just really wanted this one, and they said, "Don't touch." And sometimes that's what men want. They say, "Don't touch this one." No, I'm gonna touch it. Men, human beings in general. Human beings in general. Can we sometimes agree to disagree that human beings? But you said women, not if. Who ate the apple after you? Oh, it's it. She put gun. She put weapon. Say, if I give you poison, you take it. If I give you poison, you take it. If yeah, she come and say this is poison, he'll kill you right now. Take it. He will not. Let's just be very frank. He will not. Because that's wisdom. Because you are very aware of the consequences. I feel like they thought that God was not serious about what he said he was going to do. Like the entire you're going to die. They shouldn't. They do have. It's both ways. Men have lots of power over women. Men have power over women too. Like there's I think women's power is in when they become soft. When you're trying to play that power play on men, you lose your power. When you give the tender, sweet, let me say seductive, cool energy, your husband, yeah, that's the power is in. That's why I say submission. When you like, no, you put because you have all this power over somebody, but the power is only exhibited when you bring yourself down. And that's the problem. Women want to show power by being, I don't know, coastal, whatever. By being men. That's terrible. Women to be men. Like be a woman is enough. My dear sister, it's enough. Be a woman. It's enough. You don't have to rule the home. You have your own ruling that you're doing in that home. Okay, let's continue the video. Okay.
Boss ladies are not attractive to men. If you want to be a boss lady and you're looking for a boss man, I don't think you really know what you are asking. You're basically asking a very masculine man to come and be with another man. That's not going to happen.
True.
Not really.
That's
If you
true.
want to be a man, then I don't see why another man will want to come and be with another masculine in the house. So
Very true.
leave his
Yeah.
place, be soft, and stop putting the whole boss lady thing in front. It's not sexy. I will like
Thank you
sexy.
very much. Okay, I've gotten that information, women. That's from our able producer here, giving you guys deep tips on how to pay a power play. It's not by showing masculine energy, feminine energy is enough. It's very okay. It's very enough in your home. You don't need to go and try to play the man pants in your home. Just play the woman you are, the feminine energy you are, the submissive person you are can do wonders for you. Okay, let's continue the video.
Support polygamy. There's this thing that competition is healthy for business. If you come back home and your wife is giving you that headache, and instead of you to just carry your depression and go to your bed, or more, carry your phone, call your next girl, or more, go there, happiness there. So if a woman knows that she has a competition that if you give me headache, somebody else is there to give me happiness, she go behave. There's this trend on Twitter of a woman that said that she cannot stress herself to cook for her husband. But when there's this saying of she wakes up 5 o'clock early in the morning to cook for the husband, maybe they donated 1 point something million for her. People were hailing her. People supported her because she was fighting to keep her mind because she knows that if she doesn't do it, she will lose the man. Competition.
You know, even human being, there are varieties. Among the blacks,
Yes,
there are
black,
chocolate,
white,
fair, white, black,
different.
even
Should we talk about it? The aspect of it's a business. I was going to give a short reaction to this. If you're going to treat, I think when people treat marriage like a business, that's why they easily get divorced. Because if you're treating marriage like a business, then you're looking for something like, businesses fail. You're going to try so many businesses before you get the one that works for you. So you should not be treating marriage like a business. You should not be putting your partner in this competitive space. We already reacted on this. We'll not talk much on it. But concerning the video of the woman who was waking up at 5 a.m. for her husband, that is something really commendable. I would like If I could do that, I would do it with my full chest, but not because I'm afraid of losing you, because I cherish you. I think that's it. I think when you take a woman's sacrifice in a relationship, that she wakes up at this time to do these things for you and she does all these things for you, I say she just needs him because she's afraid, because if she knows that I'm going to ditch her or something, we are reducing what she's doing to just like fear or something, when actually she's doing out of love. There are many women that still keep their homes and they don't do any of that. Like they are, like, I think marriage is a lot of agreement. There are many women that are holding their homes, are married, and they don't do this of waking up 5 in the morning. They have times that they might have cooking calendars with their husbands, and their marriage is doing fine. But if a woman can does this other thing, when she wakes up in the morning 5 a.m., she's cooking before the husband leaves, she has made baby breakfast, packed lunch, packed for the kids. She's doing all that out of love, out of service in her post. She has seen that to best fit her post in this marriage setting, she has to do all of this and she's willingly doing it. But you seem like now she's doing just because she just, if she plays, I'm sending her out. You are demeaning her efforts. And that's my opinion on this particular issue. It's like saying that when a
Uh,
man brings so much money, yeah, and he just be like, nah, he's just doing this because if I don't do it, I'm going to teach him. And he's doing it out of love. Like when he's spoiling you and buying all these things. If I just went, he just buying me all these things because he knows that if he does not buy me a Gucci purse, not buy me a new car, I'm going to work out on him. I'm demeaning the effort he has put. He has thought about my happiness, he has thought about me a lot in getting this gift, and I'm just taking it to a point of competition basis.
Actually, I think you have to treat marriage like a business. I,
I'm so happy to have you here
to,
today.
yeah, to be very frank, I think you need to treat marriage like a business, or even any relationship really. You need to treat it like a business. And if you are treating it like a business, that means you are going to do everything in order for that business or that marriage to succeed,
Businesses
right?
fail.
Well, but even if they are failing, you want to be able to do everything in your power for it to succeed. If you give up on your business, it's the same as giving up on your on your marriage. And more to that, if I think it's going to actually serve a lot more women to treat marriage a lot more like a business, or even to treat getting into marriage a lot more like a business than depending solely on how they feel about the person they are getting married to. I think that is what might lead to a lot more broken marriages than actually having to treat it like a business. I used to say, well, the way that wives move and the way that girlfriends move is completely different, right?
Yeah.
The way that wives move, that's why you will not see a woman who has been trained to be a wife or who was raised to be a wife not married at a certain age, because she understands that she actually needs to treat this like it is do or die. It's about survival. At one point it's also even about survival, because like it or not, when you are 60 or when you're 80 with your husband, you're not thinking about love, you're thinking about who is going to be by my side to give me this insulin injection when I'm about to die. So it's absolutely about survival. And you need to think about it in very long term. It's not about the apps of the guy now, or the way that he makes you feel right now, or how macho he is, or all of that. It's to look at him and be like, this is the business that I'll have to run for the rest of my life. And that's why it is very, very important, I think, to kind of put even away your feelings and look at it in the most cold way before getting into that long-term relationship, especially marriage. Because, well, I think we are even in a culture where they're trying to make divorce kind of normal, which I don't think it's
Yeah.
that's another thing we are trying to copy from the Western world, which
That's
I think
terrible.
it's stupid. It's
Our parents used to fight to stay together. And now
yes.
us in 2 days, divorce.
So, and people do not understand the effects of divorce on them, and they're kind of very nonchalant about it, because really, because of the internet, they see a lot of fake lives out there, and they think that that is how their lives could be.
I
And
think especially
people,
from the women, this one I blame the women.
yes, and people are getting into marriage, not even really because of the marriage, but because of the wedding. Because I've seen their friends' wedding, it was like that. They get to anybody who is just telling them they are going to wed them, and they are really thinking about the wedding and not the marriage. Because I usually used to say, oh, I think people, many more intelligent people have said before me that marriage actually starts after the wedding. The wedding is just the party, but the marriage starts after the wedding, and that
Yeah,
is where you,
definitely.
yeah, if you decide to go and spend all your economy or all your money on top of party, that is one time that people come
Very
and drink
stupid idea. It's a very stupid
and, for,
idea.
and then forget about you, then that is your problem. But really, all this to say that you really need to treat it, especially for the women, because really it's a do or die situation. If if the man gets into a situation and he's seeing that that situation is not really going for him, there are a lot of women outside, or he will go and start to try his luck somewhere else. But and that is not going to be looked negatively by the society as if it were a woman. If it were a woman who is doing that,
But does it make you right?
well, it doesn't make it right. It just that is just what is. There's nothing right or wrong about it. I don't think it's about the person's decision. It's about his character, and at the end of the day, it is something that is going to happen or it is not going to happen. So better be on the side of putting the chances on your side so that it doesn't happen. And in order for you to do that, you really need to look at it in the coldest way possible. Because I think women we get a lot of deceiving signs from the folks abroad, from the internet, from our friends and our circles and stuff like that. And it makes us go into relationships that we really don't have to get into. Actually, I am a huge proponent for arranged marriages. I think arranged marriages is the way to go. We need to go
I'm
back.
actually considering it.
We need to go back
I'm actually
to having.
considering arranged marriages at this point.
We need to go back to having arranged marriages. You bring
No, no,
your
no,
you
not
bring
it
your
around.
your suitor. As you bring your suitor to your parents, your father puts him under a microscope. He even brings a bank statement. I was watching one movie they called Mrs. Maisel, and when they wanted to get married to the Mrs. Maisel, the suitor actually brought his
The bank
um
statement.
his bank statement to show how much he
Yes.
actually had in the bank. He had to prove all his businesses that he had, brought his certificates and everything, the originals, so that the father should cross check and make sure that first of all his daughter is going to not suffer, and also they know whether he's of good character, to know that he's not going to live like that and start beating the daughter. So huge proponent for arranged marriages, and yeah, let's go. I think,
Like,
yeah, I just wanted
I
to
would
say
have
that.
arranged marriages. I've done arranged marriages, but I'm too much of a lover girl to do arranged marriages. So that's my negative future. I'm too much of a lover girl to do arranged marriages. But regardless, the part that I really agree is the fact that women, especially women that have divorced, when you go online, they are so fast to go online, even if they divorce for the most stupid reasons, if it's not for maybe they got beaten at home, like some like very stupid reasons, or maybe the husband didn't have enough money for them any longer. They go online and like you deserve better, like this entire you deserve better mentality. Go and get what's yours. Don't stay with that man. Like they try to promote this divorce, like divorce is some sort of a liberating exercise. I just believe like women should calm down. Like if you have divorced, I don't see men coming out. I really rarely see men come out after a divorce and they are telling men, yeah, like just divorce her, bro. Like they can talk about that maybe with relationships per se, but like when before the marriage. When it comes to marriage, I really feel like when men get divorced, they don't come out and be like these people that are so pro divorce. Like they're not so pro divorce like women are online. There might be some, but majority of the cases it's always women that are coming out and be like, leave that man, move to the next. You deserve better. Like the entire aspect of traveling and working in your marriage, like it's being overlooked these days. Let's continue.
The whites, even among the Caucasians, there are different Caucasians. There are so many, so you must have variety whether like it or not.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
Variety is the spice of life, but I do not believe that it has to do in committed relationships. If you can take out your time, if you're going to get into a marriage or a committed relationship, then why are you looking for variety? You could have just stayed single. My name is Adangozi, and I'm supporting monogamy. I believe that monogamy is the major, I think it should be the only way. That's my own opinion, though. I think it is the easiest, it is the best. I'll take monogamy anytime.
Your mindset determines your personality. If you feel variety is the spice of life and you're going to tag that to polygamy, you're missing the biggest point. When you're talking about variety, have you forgotten the consequences? Maintenance. The more you choose, the more you need to maintain. My name is Atimo Ahiri Mona Lisa, and I came from a polygamous home. So when my father died, the funeral, this book where you get to write the names of the children, our names were mentioned, but my mother's name was not mentioned as the wife, and our pictures were not shown. It was the pictures of the first wife's children, and most especially the properties. I didn't get anything, and my father was a very wealthy man.
All the things you guys mentioned, it's totally different from marriage. Like the Bible said, you need to leave your father and mother and cleave to your wife. That cleaving means that you guys become one flesh. You cannot compare that to objects, the things that you're not attached to. And for marriage, you have to keep discovering each other. You find ways to spice up that marriage. So I believe that you cannot keep two women happy at the same level. It's not possible, because it's just impossible to be one flesh with two different people. You're going to favor one over the other.
If you check the people that frown upon.
Okay, I'm going to write that statement that guy wrote down. So in a book, it's impossible to be one flesh with two different people. That's a code that's going on my wall. Going to keep it down there, because that he ate on that line. Okay, for me, he ate on that particular statement. You cannot be one flesh, two different people. If you're living to cling to somebody, to cleave to somebody, cleave to that person. You cannot do that with more than one person. My opinion. My honest opinion.
Polygamists, they are Christians based on religious beliefs, because of Christ said one man, one wife. But apart from that, check any other reason for anybody that disagrees. There's no other reason. You made mention of the Bible.
Yeah.
So let's go down to the Bible.
Okay.
In the book of Deuteronomy, 21, verse 10, marrying of the captive. When you go to war and you defeat your enemies,
Yes.
the okay wives
And children.
and you capture, you capture anything you
Animals.
yeah,
Yeah.
which was what Abraham gave as tithe. Those things you get from them. Yeah. So when you get their men and their women and their kids, you can marry those women as captives. The Bible didn't say when a single man goes to war. It said when men go to war. And I believe people that go to war are men that are married and all that. So when you go to war and you come back victorious, when you capture those women and you marry them, did the Bible not know that you are married already?
Just to say this, the Bible in itself is there also for our reference. Okay. You can describe something, but you're not necessarily prescribing.
On a broader way, someone that don't believe on that.
I'm not saying that if I have a nanny in my house,
Yes.
like Abraham did, I'll go and sleep with her. It's a description of what happened and what led to where we are now.
Yes.
But they're not prescribing it that should be your way of life.
You have your own single.
Yeah, that's true. The fact that people think that everything that the Bible, like every scenario in the Bible, you should just take it, copy, coller, put in your life. I don't really think we have to look at the fact that there are things that the fact that you just have to come and say, you have heard this said before, but now I tell you. There are certain things that you have seen before in the Old Testament, and he said those things were just permits, that things that Moses let the people of the Israelites do, because they were just very stubborn. Just like, let it go, do what you want to do at this point in time. But it was not necessarily the way God wanted it to be. Then just have to go and be like, okay, this thing, I've heard it said before like this, but now I'm telling you, it has to be like this. So generally, when I read that, when you talked about the interpretation of like marrying women from that, marriage was also seen as a point of like preserving women. Like also see like when somebody's brother might die, they'll take his wife and he'll marry the wife, or somehow to preserve the women. So it's not necessarily the fact that it takes the sanctity of marriage. It's something that I believe in some cultures nowadays go about, like the brothers marry the wife. it's not, I don't think there's necessarily that strong union. There's more of like a protection. It's like more of a protection aspect. Okay. Okay, so is that you may go in? Wow. For me. Okay. Like that's why I said that. That's why I said when we read. Fornication is real. It is real. If you sleep with before you're married, you're fornicating. Like make your wife not too. First of all, I think we should look in that verse like we are saying, first of all, I'm not saying that that person was not married before. The person was married before. We can like the times I would take the Bible, I'll just take it at face value. It's possible that person was married or not married. True. But regardless of that, like I said, there are things that are describing scenarios in the Bible, not things that the Bible has prescribed you to live by. The time, like, I think at one point Jesus was teaching, and he said that the I believe it was the point when Jesus was teaching, and he said that Moses allowed certain things because of the Israelite stubbornness. Because they want certain things, and he'd be like, do this. Like, you tried so much to, and they'll be like, they want, they want, they want. So, generally, there are things that I think at the end of the day, we have to follow what Christ came, because he came to bring the new covenant, and that's the covenant that Christians share. So, whenever we're trying to always take the concept, if just had brought or taught something and like brought a newness to a particular topic when it concerns how Christians should live, then that is what, as Christians, Christ, like when you say Christians, you're following Christ, you're supposed to follow. So if you are saying Jesus has brought this newness, that has said, if this was before, I'm telling you that this is what God actually wills for you. No more time for you to be following your own desires or whatever. It's time for you to follow what God wants. And he's saying this is how you're supposed to follow it. Then we're following the new covenant. If you go through the Old Testament, there are so many things that you ask yourself that, is this what God really wanted? But end of the day, man also had their influence in a lot of the way in a lot of the way things went down in the Old Testament.
Good to be trying out different variety of people or I don't know, sex. But when you decide to commit to one person, then you have no business with variety anymore.
Sex is the main reason people want to be polygamist.
I totally agree on that. That some men go into polygamy because of sex. Even in Igbo lands, the traditionalists, they marry because of sex. It happened in my mom's family. He saw this fine woman. He said, oh, I like this your daughter. But then, then they uphold this law very well. You don't touch until you're married. And he married this girl. And after having his way with the girl, he has married her. Yes, I've seen you finish. Problem started. When we researched, we found out that the man never loved this lady. He just went because of her artificial beauty and he's gotten what he wanted and no more respect for her.
Most marriages suffer from sexual dissatisfaction. So they go out, seek other partners. So I think a lot of people go into polygamy because of sex.
Okay, why I actually support the notion is because let's look at today's world that we are in today. If you remove sex from relationship, you notice that many relationships will die. And another thing again is that I come to understand that humans are insatiable. There's this impression that people say, oh, a fat girl tastes sweeter, a slim girl tastes better, sleeping with older people, sleeping with pregnant women. People just want to explore that dark side of their mind. Even look at sex products. Look at porn, every other thing. The way people react to these things, you will know that people are just crazy about sex.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
I think for me, it's ojukokoro, it's just selfishness and greed. So yours can play out in any way. It can be sex, it can be that you are not connecting with your wife properly. Maybe your colleague at work is on the same wavelength as you are and you just feel a certain connection with that person. It can be money, it can be anything.
I have met some polygamists and I've heard about some. And I think one thing that they all have in common is that they do not just have wives. Some of them even have concubines and mistresses. So sex is not really a major reason why they would go ahead and bring another woman into their home because they have multiple. I disagree that sex is a major reason why polygamy still exists.
You see, everything that plays out has remote cause majorly, whether you like it or not, whether you like dance around, no, is sex. There may be other factors. Those days, you are given a chief tattooship in the, most probably in the eastern side, based on the amount of land you have, amount of children you have, determines you are the chief. But even at that time, some of them still lost. Read a book by Eme Cheta, Joy of Motherhood. Why did the guy went for that second wife?
Okay, for this particular prompt, what's your stance? Is sex the main reason why people go into polygamy? I cannot get you. No. Okay, so while fixing the mic, I think I'll just say my stance first. I do believe sex is not the only reason, but it's the major reason. For this particular prompt, I totally agree. Sex is the main reason many people want to be polygamist. Because we look at it like we can say maybe they're attracted, but what is the attraction? What is the foundation of this attraction? They want to go out and sleep with these women. So I believe every woman, the difference would be maybe in the sexual attraction that they provide to these men. If you have already found a wife and maybe she's giving you every maybe how she's been polite and everything, she's been a good wife, what generally pushes you out to go and think about polygamy is an attraction, and that attraction, what they're trying to satisfy, are trying to satisfy your sexual desires. Granted, there are many other reasons why people go into polygamy, because some people might have been forced to get married, some might have been forced to get married to a particular person, and then now later they feel like, no, okay, now they want to marry the person that they actually really want to get married to, and now they go into this polygamy. You have case of chieftaincy titles. Those are other cases. There are so many reasons why people want to choose polygamy or why have the intention want to go into polygamy. But I believe at the end of the day, sex is really a strong driving force why people want to go into polygamy. Because at the end of the day, it's more of attraction. The attraction will vary with different people. So yeah, think yeah, I can get you now. The Chago Gabi, welcome to the E-Report live stream.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Hello?
I'm getting you. Are you checking the mic? Yeah, I can get you.
Hello?
Okay. Is it okay now? Can you get me? Should I just keep on going while you work on that? All right. So I think we're arriving at our very last prompt. I'll make sure you have liked the video and subscribed to the channel if you have not yet, so you don't get missed on any of our subsequent videos. Well, this was a very intense discussion so far. I've enjoyed, I've learned. I like that after these live streams, I always go learning something. And I believe those who have followed up with us all throughout right now have learned a lot as well. So let's just go. I believe this is the last prompt for the day. And we'll be ending soon.
Lost.
You can love multiple people equally.
Interesting.
I personally believe you can actually love two people equally. The reason why some people get to choose does not lie with their emotion. It might be factors outside their feelings.
I totally agree. You could love different people for different reasons, and you could also love them equally. Love is a feeling. You could have it for different people. But when we talk about marriage, marriage is not always about love. It is commitment. It is a choice. When it comes to commitment, you choose who you stay committed to.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
If I have two wives or three wives now, each of those wives, the way they'll be treating me, they don't treat me the same way. They don't love me the same. So in retrospect, I cannot give them back the same way. It's just like a give and take. What you give to me is what I give back to you. So if those three wives are giving me different kind of loving, they should not be expecting the same kind of results.
I think that for me, romantic love, it is not possible.
It's not possible.
Yes, because you have to cleave, you have to be joined to one person.
That's in marriage.
If you're in a relationship or you're dating, you have marriage in view, you also cannot split yourself into multiple places equally. It's not possible.
And giving them the same kind of treatment,
Yes,
because it's not even possible, yeah.
I don't think.
Okay, before we continue from there, are we set to go now? The prompt. So the prompt is: can you love two people equally? Is it possible to love two people equally? Welcome to Airport. I know. Is he getting? Can you get me? All right, no problem. So on this particular prompt, it's like I think some questions, like I said, black and white questions. They pose some questions like black and white when they're not naturally black and white. Can you love two people equally? First of all, love comes in different forms. Love comes in different forms. You have maybe the love for your brother, you have love for your wife, you have the love for your friends. Like they are, like to say, some people have, I think, forgotten agape, different types of love. So when we're looking in that context, it is possible to love people equally. Like, for example, my siblings, I love all of them equally. I have a, like, when it comes to that type of love, that brotherly, that love that you have for your siblings, I love all my siblings equally. Parents wise, you're going to love them like maybe your friends, you're going to have that. It could vary also in that sense, you see. So there are friends that you could maybe cherish more, you could love more than other friends. Then when we come to the aspect of relationship, because I know they were talking about monogamy and polygamy, you cannot, for example, if you're married to two women, you cannot, I don't know, in my opinion, you cannot love two people equally, because end of the day is Love is also about investment, that the person's investment to you. I believe I agree with that man. I think for the very first time since we started this particular live stream, there's a way that someone is going to feed into you that would produce a certain kind of love from the person if you're in a polygamous relationship. So polygamous relationship will mostly rely on what are you giving me that will produce now this love, like this level of love for you. So you have wife A, wife B, wife C. It depends on how wife A will treat you that you're going to respond to that. Maybe wife B will treat you, wife C will treat you. You're going to respond differently to that. You're going to have a particular varying love for each of them. But now when we're looking at the case of polygamy, and this is why I say I always like that's what polygamy. It's like it's not necessarily based. Actions do influence the way you're going to grow in love with somebody because we do grow in love. But at the end of it all, when we say love is a commitment, is that in spite of the person, you choose to want to love that person more. You choose to want to find reasons to love that person more because that's how you're going to maintain this relationship. The way you love somebody on the one is the same way you love the person 30 days later, in a year later. You have not really, I don't see that as a marriage that is going to last. There has to be this everyday increase, everyday union. Like, you see, when people are married for so long, they get to have this very tight bond because why? Every day they are finding this love that they are growing in love with each other. And that particular love that they decided to give this person, to be committed to this person, they cannot share to somebody else. It's like like they said, you're building the house, you're building this house, you're the roof, you're going to start a new foundation. You cannot give that space, especially when you've arrived at a particular level in the relationship, well, maybe your marriage where you're already like maybe 20 years in and all of that, and you people have gone through all the building processes and you people have gotten this bond. It is not possible to have a concubine and be like, I love this person at the same point as my wife. So it's really difficult when you are looking at the point of being monogamy or being committed to somebody. That's my interpretation. What do you feel about it? All right. First of all, I think we're coming to the end of the program. I think, yeah, let me just finish the video. Then we'll do a recap of what we have done so far. And maybe I'll give more insights to my stance on this again. I already talked about it in the last episode. I was doing my homework with you guys. But I'll go maybe deeper into how I feel. And maybe we'll hear from Senik. Hopefully, he's done with all the mechanical stuff by then.
Think it's humanly possible in a committed romantic relationship because of the many aspects to it. You know, sharing your time, your energy, your emotions, and devoting it to one person. I don't think that you can replicate that and give it to another person and it to be equally balanced. Not possible. Yes.
Very much.
Okay, the video is over. I've already seen like the next video suggesting is pro-abortion and against and anti-abortion. I remember I had a debate with somebody once about this and it was heated. So maybe one day we are going to go touch that area. But I know it's a very sensitive area in the society, in every society, so it's a very sensitive area. And abortion is it was an entire issue. I believe the abortion debate was an entire, like, it was a full, big reason for the presidential elections. Like, people were basing their votes on do you support abortion or not? Like, it was an entire big issue. Not such a very grand issue this way because I think most African countries go to the anti-abortion area, though there are also some pro. So maybe another time. But like I said, we've heard a lot. I've heard a lot from the video about monogamy and polygamy. And my take, like I said, on monogamy, while I will always choose monogamy, is first my belief. And I know many people will have the, like, people who are more traditionalists who say you have just been brainwashed. You have just been brainwashed. Like, I think sometimes people think that with that word, when you tell me that I've been brainwashed to be a Christian, my mind has been changed. That put new thoughts into my mind is somehow degrading to me. To me, I'm very proud of it. because I find it as the only way I want to live my life, as the only way I want to live my life, really. So when I look at monogamy and I feel when we take the Bible description of what it's supposed to look like and we implement it right, like I said, many people are signing monogamy and not actually practicing monogamy. I think that's why now we have people coming up and being like, nah, it's not that good. There are many people that are signing monogamy, they are not actually practicing polygamy. I feel like people that are actually doing a good job, actually, people that are signing polygamy. People who are signing polygamy are actually practicing polygamy religiously. They are practicing it like they get their three wives, their three wives, they're born, they're over, they've signed it, they're men. But people go out and be like they are practicing monogamy, don't actually sign monogamy, don't actually practice monogamy. I believe that's where now we have this somehow negative look on monogamy, and there's a lot of divorce cases. It takes a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of conviction, it takes a lot of commitment. Because when you say you're committed to somebody, you have committed your life to one person, is a lot. It's something that you have taken a lot of thinking. You have made a choice. I've said you're not going to go back on this choice. You're going to stick with it to the end. And many people don't have the, let me say, balls to stand on their decision. So yeah, there's also that case. So many people that are signing monogamy don't really have the maturity, I feel, the maturity, the work, don't understand the work it takes to actually go through monogamy. End of the day, things that take so much work and energy are things that are very for the end. I've never seen a marriage, I've never seen anything I admire a lot like monogamous relationships. We have a comment here that says, you can love two to three persons, but not equally. Yeah, like I said, I agree with that. There's possibility of having many, of loving many people, and also like I think also like to ask like, do you mean loving them in the sense of like relationship wise, maybe like familiar wise? Because that's a question. I just feel like there might be different types of love. I talk agape and all of that, but definitely love will vary also based on the person's input in your life and how much you have developed a certain attraction to that person. So you're back with us, right? God disposes it. Yeah. We're getting better. We're fixing things as the day goes and it's getting better. Hopefully by next live stream, no hitches. I'm looking for a more intense discussion. Yeah. Oh my God. I have a comment that is saying, hey, great job here. That's from Commander Ai. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the show and commenting. We're happy to have you here. The discussion, I think we're coming to the end of the stream, but we're very happy to have you join us even towards the end. If you have any comments concerning the prompt, monogamy versus polygamy, you can send us your take. Let's discuss if you want monogamy versus polygamy. Yeah. Yeah. Just tell us polygamy, monogamy. I'm monogamy. And he's say, are you polygamy, monogamy? Make your stance today. Make your stance today. Tell us your perspective. We can get you. Okay. She says monogamy every day, but I'm more interested in what motivates people to choose polygamy over. I think that's polygamy over monogamy. I am very interested myself to know that because I think one question that I really want to ask is women, do you want a polygamous marriage? That's the question I really want to ask. Like, do women want a polygamous marriage and do men want a polygamous marriage? Marriage, I'm not talking about multiple partners. I'm talking about, do you want a monogamous marriage or a polygamous marriage? Not that you want to have many partners. Let's take away the, or maybe sleep with many people having the same variety or whatever. So, do you want a monogamous or polygamous marriage? And Commander Aisha has said it so many times. So I'm very monogamy. Sorry, I'm obviously monogamy. She's insisting so much on it. Yeah, me and you go, me and you go. High five.
Yeah, no, it would have
So yeah, I'm
it would have
so
been
very monogamy for not just in my Christian, not just Christian faith wise. I know it does influence a lot of the reasons why, but there's a point when even as Christians we sit down and ask ourselves, do we believe in this just because? Like in the society, we also look at society, what society is saying, and we ask ourselves, regardless of the fact that this is said, I've also had that moment to ask myself if the entire religion or my religion, my faith was out of the question, I would still choose monogamy. I will still choose monogamy. It's like it's always like a fairy tale. The same when I'm very emotional, but it's like I want to have that point where I get so devoted to somebody, like complete selflessness. I want to achieve that point of complete selflessness and choosing somebody for life. That's that is it. That is it for me. So I've asked Senik. He's always not answering this question. He said that people have their options. Who know what they
no,
say?
actually, well, I'm going to say this.
Okay.
We have to be able to choose whether we want monogamy or polygamy. Now, the way that I look at it is
Yeah, I can get you.
more power to you should probably think differently. Polygamy is not for the faint of heart. Polygamy
Definitely.
polygamy is not for the faint of
I
heart.
think even monogamy is not that easy. Let's not trivialize that thing.
Well,
You have to kill a lot of desires to achieve it. Like the fact that you have to tell yourself that every day this person might not be fulfilling this desire I have. I might have this long list. I'm going to cut out certain things and I'm going to just make like these things don't really matter to me, even though they do. And I'm going to fix myself or put myself in this bottle that we can create something. It's also hard work. Polygamy is hard work because to get peace is not easy. But monogamy, to get satisfaction, you have to learn to break down yourself to be satisfied with the person you are. So I think it's more of like a peace satisfaction thing because polygamy is like war. You have to go through a lot of things. I'm sure if you don't have the financial, the capabilities to handle it, then I think monogamy is like satisfaction wise.
well, anyways, I'm a monogamous man. I'm a monogamous man, but
They're asking
I
you
enjoy.
again, Nick, who should I go for? They're asking in
I'm,
the comments. You want to
I am a
know?
I am a monogamous man, but I'm going to exercise.
Yay!
I'm going. Hey, I've not finished, but I'm going to. But I'm going to exercise my options. I just
Okay.
think the man has to be in a position of for to exercise his options, right?
Okay.
Yes. we you don't even want to be dealing with a lot of women. I I actually think that the man and the woman should not don't have to be living in the same house though. They don't even need to be living together. Let the
Oh,
woman,
that's a whole other part. That's a whole other part.
yes.
Okay.
And I think that is maybe even why most of these our polygamous people are surviving, because you don't need to stay with all of them. When women are having their issues, let them fight amongst themselves.
Have you seen
When
the
the
comments?
Oga when
Oh, Johnson just says, so you want to be chopping rice every day?
of course we need to be chopping rice. We have one for every day of the week. You have one for every day of the week. No, but on a serious note, we should not even be staying in the house with our women. Women are soft. We love women soft, right? They are
And you
soft.
said, and stay in the house to make them hard. I don't get. Like,
No,
explain that point. How do they relate?
women are soft, and what they tend to do is make us soft as well. And a soft man is not very good. It's not going to survive in this our society, especially this our society, which is a very hustler inclined society. And men have to be amongst other men who are going to sharpen them and keep them on their grind, so that, yes, you understand. So
I don't understand. I'm not agreeing with you. I just said, I'm waiting for you to finish. Finish.
so
So, yeah.
so our soft women are going to keep us on they are going to make us soft, and are going to make, and a soft man in the society, it's very easy for that man to become weak. I do not want to have a weak man for a husband, because, well, at the end of the day, a lot of things could go wrong. You understand? So we need to keep sharp. We need to keep working. We need to keep powerful. And when we need that release, that is when the Oga comes and calls the madam and say, Madam, come and let us release, just like the Bible.
Okay,
That's just like the Bible says, we go
chairman, right?
in.
Chairman. Okay.
And
This
maybe
is
that's even why.
this is why I don't really feel like I think the softness is very needed. And if I look at men nowadays, okay, if the more you see men accepting this soft side that men offer, you see they tend to relate to the world more. The world does not only need you to be hard. I think that's what I've told men over and over again. The world does not need you to be hard. There are times when you have to be soft. A father, see, most fathers, children will run away from their fathers, be like, I just want to be mama, to be mama. Because mama is what? Mama is understanding. She has this patience. She has this softness to her. And women bring in that softness to men. Clear. The men need it. If you find a father that has understood that aspect of being stern and yet being let me say soft, or like being welcoming, because it's that soft when you see softness, some of the welcoming energy, but that hardened nature, as much as it's important to put in discipline, the softness is so important to have that welcoming nature for children. So women offering that softness is not going to bring you down. Okay, I do like when men are like tough, like they can handle issues, they can go about their business. At the end of the day, if you want to relate to a man properly, you have to also be able to reach that soft side and also be able to give that hard nature. Same to women. Women also need to have that point when they have that disciplinary side of themselves or the hard side of themselves. But it's going to vary. I think men need more of that the hardness, or I'm just going to call it hardness, than they need that soft side, but they do need it. Women need more of the softness, the compassionate, the patience, than they need the sternness. Because at times when a wife has to be stern and tell us, but this decision you are going to take is going to ruin us. Don't invest in that business. The men that said that the wives told them, don't invest it, and they went and they came back and they cried. So if the wife does not that time when she feels like this is a bad decision, don't take it, and she puts her foot down and actually tries to talk some sense to that man. You see that it's important.
Why, woman? People like to take credit for some things, things that don't even concern you. Anyways, oh yeah, there's commander here who says we can chop the rice and change the soup now. Still, Stew groundnut soup, okra, egusi soup, stew
Yes,
groundnut soup,
exactly.
okra,
Like
egusi soup.
one rice can bend in different ways. Like there are different compliments that one rice can give you. You know, that's the point. But not just change your rice. You know, you can eat rice and stew, rice and this, fried rice today. You make jollof rice tomorrow. Ghanaian jollof, Nigerian jollof tomorrow. Same rice, but different. Like it can do so many things. So you don't need to be changing the rice. You don't have to go from Martin to maybe Royal Crown or whatever.
Commander, you need to put on your video. Can you hear me? Put on
No,
your
no,
video.
it's if you are not in the place to.
All right. All right, you can say what
All right.
uh she's taking a shit. All right, Commander, for sure, for sure. All right. Tell us now, tell us. You
Tell
say
us.
you are monogamy. Why?
Perspective point of view because I am a woman, and from a legal perspective, it protects me more than
Okay.
polygamy will protect me. But now, from a social scientist point of view, I think, like I commented earlier, people have different reasons why they choose certain things over others. So somebody would have a reason why they'll choose monogamy over polygamy. Another person will have a reason why they'll choose polygamy over monogamy. So I'll try to use a couple of illustrations. I
Mm-hmm.
said irrespective of your gender. So a woman who has experienced a couple of things might say, oh, it's better to actually be in a polygamous marriage where she can have the freedom to be herself and have her the freedom to do the things she wants to do, considering the fact that her husband has other women with whom he shares his personal time. But now, from a male perspective, in a purely African context, I don't want to talk about a context I don't master well, so I'll talk about the African context or the Cameroonian context where they will tell you men are dogs, they will always cheat, men like the salad, men like the fruit salad, they don't want the pineapple or just the pawpaw. So, from that perspective, it's obviously like African men are obviously polygamous in nature, which can be arguable. Like I'm not stating it as facts. I'm just saying that's the reality or that's how people perceive men in an African context. But again, from experience, I think more women are getting to terms with the fact that given that maybe they cannot satisfy their husbands sexually or physically or emotionally, maybe the husband have more options. And life is getting really complicated. Women are getting more sexual. So maybe their husbands don't even satisfied that much. I don't know. I'm just saying. So polygamy is actually an option, and it's. I think the topic is really contextual. My point of
Yeah.
view, very generalized.
Yeah. I think I agree with like everything she said. Like every day, like I said, some questions are not really black and white. There's a lot of context that we have to put into consideration before saying a statement. You can't just say that everybody wants to be a polygamist. There are contexts, there are different contexts. There are so many things I have to put in consideration, people's situations. So yeah, definitely agree with her a lot.
Okay, I will use a tip, a tip which my dad taught me. When somebody asks you a complicated question, you say, "That's a very good question," and give time to think. Okay, if we're talking about polygamy and monogamy, it means we are married. It's not a relationship, right? Or am I
Yeah.
getting anything wrong?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
so if
marriage.
we're in marriage, the succession law in Cameroon favor the man's children, his family, like his brother, before his wife. You get. So if both of us are married, for instance, if you happen to die, the God forbid situation, if you happen to die today, whatever you have as property, especially if you did not leave a will, goes to your children. Okay. If I am not your only wife, I might have been your first wife, but I did not give you your first children. So we'll try to, the law will try to respect the law of, how do you call it, age. It goes to my co-wife's children who were born before my own children, and then after it goes to your brother. I pray you have brothers so that you can come now to me. I think the woman is like the fourth person that benefits from heritage advantages. Okay. So if I am your only wife, what does that imply? If I'm your only wife and I have children, my children will take whatever you have left. When they have, like, when the law has divided everything, it means they'll give my children stuff, they'll give your brother stuff, and they'll give me something little because I'm like, after I tell that person. Okay, assuming I don't have children, the law will give your brother stuff, and then they'll give me stuff, or they'll give your mother stuff before giving me certain things. But now, if it's two wives, there's a lot of arguments and a lot of, like, the small house or the small penthouse that was supposed to go to my humble self, my, like, my beautiful self who wants to be a widow that is enjoying her widowhood in, let's say, the seashells at the border of a sea. I have to share that penthouse now with your other wife. It's not even fair to me. Like, just saying it is annoying.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
I get that. I think we're running out of time. We have to be wrapping up with the show. But
Okay.
I've learned a lot already. I never knew that there was that particular law when it came to property heritage concerning polygamy. So is there anything you have to say before we round up? Thank you so much for being here, Commander. Like, I've learned a lot just from you being here. And it's good
Thank
to have somebody on
you.
my side. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to say, when you get married as a woman, try to get your husband to write a will. When you get married as a man, Nick, Ojong, Studios, I've forgotten another person on the comments when I joined. But try to write a will. It does
Okay.
not mean you're dying.
Say right will. Wills are
Yeah.
important. Thank you very much, Amanda, for joining us. Just a last comment here for step out. Say somebody that short it said, what sort of freedom would the woman seek to have in a polygamous marriage? We can just run the comments down, like say we're run down on the time. And Ojong Studio says, well, if you know how to change the student, it's fine. At Kamenda and he. So let's all try to be changing the still marriage. If we don't want meant to be chopping different rice, let's try to be more creative. I believe creativity is a very good thing to add into marriages. So that's all for this particular live stream, guys. See you next time on Wednesday for our next live stream. But please do come again on Friday for our next episode. Thank you for being here and joining us today. Bye. Subscribe. Yeah, definitely. Maintain car issues. Yeah. Clear.